right. Test out the audio here. Can you guys hear me? Is the main question. Whoever's here. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Just gonna. I can see the chat. Thomas Craker, could you hear me? Is my audio coming through? Oh, good. Okay. Sounds like my audio is coming through. See the chat. Great. Thomas Craker, could you hear me? Is my audio coming through? Okay. Awesome. Well, so far you're the only person here. And today's project is I kind of want to rebuild the shaders on my ambulance so that right now they're very kind of favoring a photorealistic look, and I want to get a more stylized look, and I've got this shader that I've been working on, and maybe if there's time start working on the interior a little more, because right now it doesn't really have anything. And there's a beautiful rig in here that Mark Paletti built for me to operate this, but it's not working with the Blender update. I'm sure it's a simple fix, but and I'll bug him about it. But yeah, so part of that project is going to be working on the interior. But first, let's see if I can import some shaders. Hey Jay, good to see you, man. Thanks for joining our live stream here. So let's see. Jay and I go way back. He's an old pal. All right. Hopefully this doesn't choke out on me. Oh, what's it doing? It's getting mad at me. All right, there we go. Hello, Daniel VA 1011. Welcome aboard. All right, so I'm gonna import. What did I want to import? No, I want to append. There's this shader I built. I just gotta remember where I put it. Feature one shots. CPR. Blender. No, that's the image plane. Oh, I know where it is. It's in a different project. That's why. Oh, Danelle's here. Hey, Danelle. Hello. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining my live stream. There's a bit of a delay between when I see your chats, and so I'll try to respond to everybody while I work on this. Yeah, y'all can suggest topics to discuss while I muck through the troubleshooting this shader. Let's see. Is it this one? Yeah. All right. So I want to append collection. Let's just append that whole collection. So I got this crazy monkey. It's gonna take. Oh no. That's wrong. Yeah. Okay. Lore about the ambulance itself, I'm guessing, right? About the alligator. Hang on. Why is this doing this to me? Please select the median points. Right. And just move it over. Okay, there we go. I don't know why it's getting mad, but I think it's just taking its time to load in the shader. Oh, because it's got line art, that's why. Hang on. Line art. We don't need the line art modifier right now. Okay, cool. Oh, let's see. I mean, lore is a weird thing because I don't know that I've. Oh, Ashley's here. Hi, Ashley. Hello. Welcome aboard to my weird little live stream. First time, really. Yeah, so I hope this isn't too dull right now. It's going to get interesting once I start messing around in here. But basically, I've got this old shader, and I want to replace it with something that's a little more stylized. And this should be working. My stylized shader. Oh, it is working. It's just I just changed the color. That's why. Here, let's make it red. Yeah, see? That's a much more stylized shader. It's very kind of painterly, and it looks really good when the lines are on it. But that's the idea. I want to transfer some of this to the ship. Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Honestly, I wish I could say that I have lore for OSR. I just kind of have a world in the not so distant future, and just working people, working first responders, and I just try to think about what the heck they have to put up with and what sorts of situations they're going to run into. So my storytelling, I guess, is very pragmatic in that regard. Yeah, but thank you for liking that story. If I'm speaking in a little bit of a hushed tone, it's because my wife Joan is putting our kiddos to bed right now, so I can do this live stream, and I don't want to undo her hard work. So let's see. This is the. What is this? Okay, that's the diffuse. Cool. So I'm gonna want to feed that diffuse into the base color. Can I do that? Yes, I can. All right. All right. I'm gonna image texture. Yeah. Tell me some more about what you liked about the short story, because I was really that one. I'm really quite proud of that one, to be honest. It's oops. Let's do this. Should be UV. Okay, and then let's switch over here and change this to painterly base. Painterly base. Okay, it's gonna take a minute to load everything. Okay, so that's good. It's loaded in. It doesn't quite look right, which I guess is to be expected. All right. Yeah, I really tried to keep it grounded. I just tried to think about, a mom and procedure. I'm kind of a realism obsessive on all fronts. I really just like to think about what real life is like. And for me, the attraction of sci-fi has always kind of been Um, I like hard sci-fi because it's just a guess at what real life might be like in a different setting, one in which usually in the future, right? Um, and that interests me. Real life interests me quite a lot. So I am not wild about how this shader is behaving, and so I think I know why. I gotta go through and inspect every blasted node. I hope this. I'm a little nervous that I picked the wrong activity. That maybe you guys would rather see me sketching or drawing and not screwing around in Blender, trying to trying to build a shader network. In fact, I might, just for the sake of this, switch to modeling and like building out this interior instead of trying to fix this shader, because this looks like it's rapidly becoming an involved project. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. So why doesn't it like... I'm just gonna putz at this just a little more. Yeah, in my world, the husband is like a local politician, right? Like he's the mayor of the station that they Jack Adashan can, right? That's his political slogan. Yeah, he's like a kind of a Mamdani, you know. Honestly, just like a I'm gonna change this place. I'm gonna do something different. Although I think he ends up getting quite a bit beleaguered by reality, which is, you know, that's real life too, right? Like, okay, so this is... I see what the issue is. All right, what happens if I up the roughness a little bit? If I take the roughness down, I get... It's too reflective. If I bring up the metallic... Yeah, you know what? I don't like this shader at all, so I'm gonna just go back to the shader it was for now. Designed for the political stickers depicted in the story. No, I don't. And honestly, Dan or Daniel, what do you prefer? Or Daniel VA 1011. You tell me. But no, you know, there's so much of this world that's not designed. It's just in my head, loosely. And it's just because I don't get to work on it as often as I'd like. It's slow going. I would love to flesh all that out. I'd love to just spend all day thinking about this stuff and like building the world out. But honestly, you know, what you guys see is what I often... is almost all I get to do. Let me get rid of this for now. I don't need that. Alright, so let's just get rid of... Let's hide that. Let's do some modeling. That's really what we want to see. Just do it, says Ashley. I'm trying. I'm trying, I swear. I really am. Medication helps. Yeah. Let's see. Is this... What does this door look like? How did I... Okay, so... I think now what I'm going to need to do... This would actually be a good time to switch to some drawing. I'm going to take a kind of a cross-section view of this interior and try to map out what's inside a little bit, like sketch it out before I do any modeling. I think that would probably be a good idea. So what I might do is... It has an auto smooth on it. What vertex group is it in? How did he do this? Is this a data transfer? Oh, it's just a straight link. Of course it's a straight link because it doesn't have any... Alright, anyway. Yeah, alright, so I'm gonna... Let's see what happens if I hide that. Okay, I get that. Alright, so I'm just gonna start hiding a bunch of stuff so that I can think through this interior. Let's hide these guys. Don't need that, don't need that. I just want to get some of this clear. What did I... Okay, yeah. So I'm just kind of left with, you know, the bare minimum here. Don't need that. I like the German guy. He seems like he just wants to help. Yeah, absolutely. Could we get a quick tour of the vehicle design and some of the details people might overlook? Yeah, certainly. Let me do that real quick. Let me put all this back then. I'll just do that. So this is the alligator. The idea behind the alligator is that it's it's got these big bumpers, right? Because it's supposed to be able to push ships around. A lot of times when you encounter a ship in distress, there's a good chance that it needs to be righted, or it's in a tumble of some kind. And so these bumpers, which slide in and out, right? They have some suspension to them. Give you that capability. And I don't have it. I don't have the rig open. Let me see if I can get the rig so that I can pull out the arms and show you guys some of that. Here we go. Okay, so open the rig. Now, not all of the rig works right now because it's a Blender update, but I'll show you. So here we go. Pop. This little door pops open, and we've got these robot arms, which are really cool. These claws extend and retract. So I'll show you a little bit about what's going on here. Yeah, these are manipulating tentacles, right? They have a lot of different functionality. You can see a lot of different, range of motion. So let me close the claw. We have these cutters and that double as jaws of life, right? So we can pry open spacecraft. Oh, what propellant does it run on? The Gator is actually methane. It's not a lot of spacecraft in this universe of mine run on methane. They're mostly, usually some kind of very, very advanced monopropellant with like an electric heating element and a massive capacitor, or a nuclear-powered thing, or beamed energy, with a monopropellant. But this is a slightly older ship in the fleet, and I don't have an exact Delta V number for you, but it's something I've been meaning to sort out. But enough to change planes, decently. Like, I think in lunar orbit, I imagine that it could change planes comfortably 30 degrees and still have enough propellant to get to a target and return. We did the jaws of life. There's also cameras here. These are little cameras. I have to shade all this and texture it at some point. Of course, we have thrusters. We have the coarse adjustment and fine adjustment thrusters. Then we have this really neat little assembly, which is the optics package. So it's a telescope and also a debris laser. So there's a debris laser on this side, and then multiple optics. You use rig or drivers? That's a good question for Mark. This is a mix. Mark has a computer science degree, so he built this with all sorts of schmancy stuff. I did not rig this. Like I said, my pal Mark Pauletti rigged this. I would love to show you the functionality of this door opening, but for some reason that's not working with this latest update. So then, yeah, you've got small hatches, right, and a small docking attachment. 6 skin for Blender. Get a link for that. Oh, this is the Vision skin. If you go Vision for Blender, if you look up Vision for Blender, it comes with skins, which are kind of cool. So if you're into like animatic production in Blender and using it for that purpose, it's pretty rad. So let's see, what else can I tell you guys about? So I mean, there's handholds all over the thing, right? To get where you gotta go. Let's see, what's the power of the debris laser? You know, honestly, just enough to vaporize something about the size of a softball. You know, it's got decent power. It's not gonna, you know, it's not a TIE fighter, right? It's not gonna obliterate, you know, a ship or anything like that. It's just, you know, one of the things that this has, and I don't have this rigged, and there's, you know, a lot of things that I'm gonna have to, you know, play with. I've hidden a lot of the decals because the decals aren't working on this right now. This is an orthographic used to replicate these in Space Engineers. Oh, I mean, here you go. Here's one. Here's an ortho view. Take a screen grab. You know, here's another view. Here's another view. Right. And then here's the butt end. There you go. Yeah, maybe I'll share it to the ortho views to the Patreon or something. Yeah, what else? What else are some neat things about this ship? Yeah, so it's got the small hatches on top and bottom. Those are for just both for quick EVA egress and also for docking with small docking adapters. There's 2 standard sizes in my universe, so there's this small docking adapter and then there's this large docking adapter. And the idea too is that this particular ambulance can dock together. These are supposed to kind of extend out, these guide vanes. So you could conceivably connect 2 or 3 or 4 alligators together and make a field hospital if you need to. So that's what they use these big side hatches for usually. And then this big rear hatch can actually just open. This is for usually docking to very large vessels, right? Small vessels have a small dock, large vessels have this big dock. And especially if you're going to be transferring lots of patients, you want a big opening. But I don't have the ability to open that just yet. So that's a wish list item for the next, you know, rig. I'm also I'm starting to teach myself how to rig, so I don't have to bother Mark. And maybe I'll be able to peek under the hood of this rig once I understand rigging a little bit more. But yeah, so then we've got this. Let me get out of pose mode here. I'm just gonna hide the rig for now. So we've got the cockpit, right? Which is all just touch screens. You know, and a pilot, navigator. Well, not really navigator. Usually just another OSR, and somebody who's trained to manipulate these arms operates that. On one hand, I'm kind of surprised medics are kind of given weapons. On the other hand, considering what space debris can do, yeah, I mean, it's definitely necessary, especially when you're approaching, a tumbling freighter that's been ripped apart by, passing through its LaBroche limit or whatever, and there's HDTVs and rubber dog shit and ceramic ball bearings everywhere and little princess makeup kits and God knows what else, and all traveling at hypersonic velocity, or even subsonic velocity that can just, enough of it can cause damage. So this thing, when it's busy, right, like it's like it's moving around. It's like really trying to clear a path. And usually this would also deploy, and I haven't designed these, I'm sorry, some debris mitigation drones that would go out ahead of it and do some work. But so this is sort of a fail-safe, really. But it's also, optics. It's telescope and stuff. It does more than just that. What do I use for RCS? 2 empties, one for rotation and another for translation with the sonic constraints. That's cool. I mean, I'll love to pick your brain. I don't have an RCS solution. I would probably hand draw my RCS, which is what I've done in the past. Because this show's kind of a mix of 3D and 2D. But I would love to hear about that. See, Rocket Man, love the description of a crash. Yeah, I mean, OSR, their job is to daily handle a situation like the movie Gravity, but they have to make it better and clean it up, hopefully by the end of the day. So they have a lot of tools at their disposal for doing that. Yeah, so do you guys want me to talk about the alligator some more before I move on to kind of interior design work, or so I want to just grab this interior in a form I can use. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do this. Maybe like this. No. Oh, there we go. If I go like this, there we go. Okay, that's what I wanted. So I'm just gonna. I think there might be a plugin that handles RCS. Really? If there's a plugin that handles RCS thrusters, I want it. Please, God, that would be astonishingly useful to me. This worked up until. Yeah, I mean, there's no inside, so that's what I'm designing today. Because I want to make some illustrations that depict like some dramatic rescue efforts. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a screen grab. Bear with me. Just going to do that. Okay. I'm going to switch over to Clip Studio Paint. I'm going to switch the stream. All right, can you guys see Clip Studio Paint? Hooray! You can. All right. So cool. Oh, thanks, Ashley. Doing what I can. Doing what I can. All right, so good. Yeah. All right, there we go. So, where's my tablet pen? Here it is. All right. So I'm going to just knock this back, and I'm going to just kind of make like a quick I'm just going to start like and make a rough kind of pass. So I start thinking about what's going on inside this. Nothing. I'm not doing a really fancy piece of concept art. This is just like a planning, thinking kind of drawing. Let me bring up my window here. I don't remember the name. I did download it, but it wasn't compatible version. Oh, okay. I think I offloaded after crashing. Yeah, that's things. I hope somebody rebuilds that, because that would be such a cool. Well, I would be very happy. I would be a very happy guy to know if there was a plugin for thrusters that worked. That would be very rad. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of do some lines to help me comprehend what the heck is up. You know what? I think I need to. Turn on the wireframe, actually. There we go. That's what I should have done. Alright, let me try that again. I'm going to take another screen grab. This time with the wireframe. Because that's going to really copy. Let me see if I can still use. Can I get away with it? Oops. Sort of. I don't want to redo anything that I don't have to do. Yeah, alright. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay. Take this, dump it, take this, shrink it, knock it back. Now I could see the freaking wireframe. That's going to make my life a little easier. With the amount of RCS you're going to have to do, I think I'll say all the times. I mean, I also like doing the kind of stylized drawing. I don't mind. I'm an animator. I don't mind doing a lot of work. But set up a scene again, make a simple rig for you to copy from. Oh man, yeah. I mean, shoot it to my email, which I think is it's just stanley.vonmed@gmail.com. That would be awesome. That would help a lot. But I mean, don't lose a lot of time over it. Only if it's like something fun that you would like to do. But I would appreciate it. I think that'd be really cool. Oh man, the tough sci-fi Discord. That's a tough crowd. The tough sci-fi Discord. They haven't expressed much interest in my project, to be honest. I wonder if it's hard sci-fi enough for them. Which, whatever. Like, we all have different tolerance of fantasy in this space. Let's see. I'm gonna try and okay. That's enough to think about. All right. So what I want to do. Last time I was thinking about this. I'm gonna do this with a red line for a second. Last time I was thinking about this, is that these are non-vacuum doors, and this one, what was it? It was, yeah, this one should be capable of opening to a vacuum. These two open to vacuum should be able to because they're used for hatch. So what we need to do, I think that makes sense. Okay, so what I need is this area. Let me do that correctly. Okay, so this area needs to have an internal door that can seal off so that this whole area stays pressurized. That's my thinking. When was the OSR founded? I have a whole crazy document. Let me see if I... just bear with me. Bear with me here. Do I have that? Okay. I'm gonna pull up some of my research docs and see what I what I have. OSR. Just OSR the organization. I don't think you guys can see my screen, so that's okay. I'm just going to read this. Yeah, so I don't have an exact year. It was sort of the whole idea was this story takes place roughly 2100, 2150 is my timetable. And basically it's just it's an institution where the kind of point of centrality that it's founded around, it's an international institution kind of founded around the UN Convention of the Law of the Seas, so UNCLOS or UNCLOS, and the Outer Space Treaty, and in particular the Rescue Agreement. There's a lot of international waters type stuff and salvage law here that I have notes on. SOLAS, let's see. It doesn't really tell you when it was founded. The amount of furry art in the gallery section at Discord, I wouldn't think that's the problem. Oh yeah, maybe if my story was a furry story, it was the same realism, but it was just all furries. Maybe that would take me further. Who knows? So I have this long stack of notes about the command structure and it's their headquarters is in Manila. The Artemis Accord. What was the Artemis Accord again? A set of non-binding principles co-led by NASA and these departments. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably roped in there. I think just because of the expertise, I think you're going to find a lot of OSR have some background in seafaring operations. They might come from the Coast Guard, or they might come from Earth-based, similar Earth-based operations, right, for their backgrounds before joining the OSR, usually. There's very few, fresh out of college go straight to the OSR people. It's like it's a very difficult thing to get into. If you go to orbitalsearchandrescue.com/org, or just go to orbitalsearchandrescue.com and then click on org, there's a little bit of there's some graphics that show you the whole. For those of you interested in lore, I guess in this context, it's just kind of the OSR organization. So I'll get back to this real quick. Yeah, there's a few things in there that are kind of cool, I think. Like I have a suit kit section. It talks about the suit kit. Yeah, just passing by to say the work is really great. Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Thank you, Lucas. I appreciate that. Makes me excited about the future of humanity. My goodness, that's what I really, really hope to do with OSR. I think quite a lot of us are not feeling very excited about the future of humanity. Have strong opinions about how things are going, and myself included. But when you got kids, you have to try to aim for something hopeful. I like Kim Stanley Robinson's vision of plausible utopias, right? Where he's just like, okay, what's the best we could possibly hope for realistically, right? That's always his outcome. I was just stanley.vonmedvy@gmail.com. That's my email. Yeah, whenever, man. That's cool. Thank you. That's really kind of you, Oval Dream, to put some cycles on that. I appreciate that. That's cool. Yeah, absolutely, Ashley. I mean, it's the big original impetus behind OSR was 8 years ago. I was just so moved by this story from Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers. He said when he was little, there was some pretty awful. I forgot what it was. There was some disaster, some kind of fire or bombing or something like that. And it was on TV. And his mother, I think it was, told him to look to the helpers. Look to the helpers, right? Look to all the firemen and the ambulances and the doctors and everybody. That's who you look to. You look to the helpers. And that just, when I heard that story, that hit me like a ton of bricks. And I've some dear close friends who are emergency room physicians and work in hospitals, and if there's one thing that doctors and EMTs and all these different people do, that's right, Danelle, heck yeah. It's yeah, I think that when I was pitching this to a friend of mine years ago, I was like, I just want, these spacesuited EMTs to always be reaching towards somebody's hand and saying, everything's going to be okay. Don't worry, we're going to get you out of here. Everything's going to be okay. Oh, thanks, Nope. 1, 2, 3. That's, yeah. I mean, that's it. It's just, I'm a overworked ADHD dad who's obsessed with spaceflight and has close friends that are first response, ER physicians and first responders, and was just hit over the head with that Fred Rogers thing, and just thought, well, That's what I want to do, just with whatever ability I have. Think carefully and try to just tell stories in this world, draw pictures in this world, make animations in this world. I'm a fairly distracted person and have a lot on my plate, and so I don't always get to, push like I could, for example, just write the Substack, just write lots of short stories. It's a good idea. I should do that. But then I go, oh, I want to draw a picture. And I go, oh, I want to make an animation. Oh, I should write a screenplay. So that's something you never know which direction to push, and pushing consistently in any one direction is a challenge for me. My dream is to just, if I could work on this all day, I would just be world building and writing screenplays and making short films or shows, in this space. Just like, gotta hand it to ESR. Those folks go headlong in the bitch. Yeah, absolutely. They certainly do. They have qualities that I just deeply admire, and as an anxious person, my friends have always, been there when I whatever medical anxiety, like, oh, what's wrong with my kidneys? Oh my god, and they're like, it's okay. It's, well, is this happening? Is your your lips blue like this? And I'm like, no, I so value their cool heads. And so, yeah, this whole project is just a big love letter to them, and to spaceflight, my two big loves. My friends, the people I love, and then spaceflight. And my kiddos, when they grow up, when they're not little, I want them to see something thoughtful and hopeful, and know that Dad, tried to tell a good story, something sincere. Thanks, Ashley. We always have space gardens, but one of my favorite scenes of experiences when they set up the bubble to save the Martians on the right. Yeah, heck yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Daniel, absolutely. Yeah, so that's the thought process. I love this project. I'm not like a pitch kind of person. I've tried pitching before to studios and things like that. So, I think people who are good at pitching are good at writing pitches. So they have a lot of stories. I like to help people with pitches and stuff, but for this, I just like to putter on it and work on it and think about it and speculate and explore it at the pace that I can, at any given time. So much on the flash loop, I forget the honor and noble hardships. Yeah. Usually if you're in the emergency room, or if search and rescue is showing up to try and help you, it's a pretty good chance it's like the worst day of your life. And these physicians, these ER people, these EMTs, they see awful stuff. They see awful shit. And it goes in. It affects them. They're not unaffected by the things they see. They're really affected by the things they see and deal with from day to day. And I don't know. I want to try to honor that with the work that I create. That's sort of my life's work, other than the work I get paid for, which I'm very thankful for and I love. But Lucas, I love your Stanford Taurus space stations. They have a clean minimalistic. Oh, thank you. That's what I was going for. I kind of the minimalism is a pragmatic choice. I try to make like uh, I want them to look like easily buildable, easily replicable, right? Like the there's just, we just build a tube. we have a big rig that builds a torus, and it's smooth on the outside. We don't have to worry about any glass or anything like that, because we just use advanced LED tech to simulate skies inside, which are also just standard panels, right? It's like, imagine that in this future there's this like very standardized light panel display system for faking skies. Yeah, that's one of my favorite pastimes as a kid. Yeah, and yeah, I tried to make it a nice place to live. My big goal was like, this can't suck. This can't feel like you're in a mall or some like, you know, because human brains are going to go crazy. Like unless you can just really convince yourself that it's just the sun shining on your face and you're just out in the park, sometimes you're going to lose it, especially if you're trying to raise kids in an environment like that. If you're just constantly aware of like your spinning frame and the sun and the moon, like, it may seem exciting and dramatic in concept art, but to just live your freaking life day in and day out and take a dump and go to the grocery store, like, it can't. You have to be as terrestrial as you can get away with living inside of a donut. My favorite pastime as a kid was hearing epic music and imagining animation around it. 90% hard side. Yeah, hell yeah, absolutely. Dang, it's here. Glad you're finally active again. I try to be as active as I can be, as active as life permits. I'm very, 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 very active in my day-to-day life. But just not always on OSR stuff, which, you do what you can. We all do what we can. I had this whole setup in my head about a universe called Twinkling Stars because of pulse engines being the main method for propulsion. That's great. Wow, I love that. What a wonderful image. Like the park scene in your other story. Yeah, that's exactly right. Just like that park scene. Alright, so let's see. So I imagine this is like kind of the main triage area. I also imagine that we have this area needs to be sealable as well. So I'm going to say it gets a big door. Yeah, because this can kind of be a whole field hospital, right? So we need to be able to seal that off. And then this needs to be, yeah. So like, when this door comes in, yeah, it's gonna ride some rails and kind of tuck in like this, right? So that means that, I wonder if that's really the best way to do it. I think what I would do, I think it's going to ride rails all the way and get all the way out of the way because it's such a big door. So it's going to try to go up here. Yeah. I'm going to try to get it as much out of the way as possible. So I'm going to go, like if it was this door, let me just hide some of this for a second. It's going to go rail, 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 and then this way. so that its final resting position should be kind of right there. Yeah. Because we needs to be clear as much as possible. Maybe even higher, honestly. Let me see. Let me move that a little higher. Oh, I'm taking that with me. Crap. I'm just going to redraw it. Okay. So if that's the end, yeah, because it's flat. So that means boom, boom, kind of like that. I'll check in with you guys in a second here. I just want to make a little progress on this. Oh, thanks, Oval Dream. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you being here for as long as you could. Concerns for realism was awesome. Thinking of houses. Yeah, agreed. Take care. Okay, yeah, so I'm first and foremost just kind of thinking about these big doors, right? Like how to get them out of the way. So I think they're gonna, on both sides, they're gonna slide that way, and this kind of has a similar space constraint, so it's gonna go up. It's gonna go up that way, yeah, like that. So, deet. Yeah. Deet. You can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to think of like how these doors, slide, and get themselves as out of the way as possible. Yeah, I think that's probably right. So let's start there. I'm going to return to Blender here for a minute. Boop. Just start kind of laying in some shapeage. Let's see. I'll hide that stuff right now. I'm not 100% sure if I'm doing this super cleanly, given that there's a rig that's sitting in here, but I think it's okay, because I can always reassign, and, Blender is very, very forgiving. It's really forgiving. I'm just gonna put, okay, so I'm gonna see what's in here. Okay, that's the door. That's why it's clipping. Let's see if I change the clipping start. Okay, we don't want to change the clipping start too much. That's fine. Okay, let's just put that back. I remember seeing your animated short about a Polish transport getting ripped to shreds. Was there an alligator on site for a rescue? At the end, yeah. It was on its way to save that kiddo. I want to ask this for a while. Where can we see your older art that used to be on Twitter? I sadly can't find them on your art station. Oh, I'm not sure. Can you tell me which piece you're talking about? I'm not sure if I have. I'm always like culling and hiding things, and there's some older art, on my website. On just stanleyvonmedvey.com, but I don't know if it's going to be the stuff you're looking for. All right, so let's see. Can I move this door? Is this mirrored? You know what? I am not going to ask questions. Two astronauts close together. One of them is Canadian. Two astronauts. name's Canadian. Like, they have a Canadian flag, or are they like... Hang on. I wish I could paste... Like, I don't think I can type into... Can I type into the... No, live control panel. I guess I can't. Let me see if I can type into the thing and paste a link. I'm not sure. Let me see. View my channel. Okay, so I'm live here. I guess I can't. Let me see if I can type in. Oh, I can. All right, thing. Paste a link. I'm not sure. Is this the link? Let me see. You're thinking of? Okay, so I'm live here. I guess I can't. Let me see if I can fly. Oh, I can. All right, thing. Paste a link. I'm not sure. Oh my gosh. I don't know that I remember. Was it like an Instagram doodle? Yeah. I'm sure it's somewhere. I'll have to find it. I have it on my computer, all of it, but I don't know if I uploaded it. SpaceX. Oh. I think I know which one you're talking about. Is it like kind of inky? Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Let me see if I can find that. I might have it on my ArtStation still, but just like hidden. View profile. Manage portfolio. Let me see. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know where that is. I know which one you're talking about. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, now I know which one you're talking about. I don't know where that one is. It may be gone. All right. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and separate selection. Is this a separate door? Yes. Cool. Okay. So what I'm going to do... Yeah, sorry. I have so many... There's all sorts of art that I like look at and I'm like, and I take it down and then people are like, where'd that go? And I'm like, I don't know. I got scared. People won't like me. Just kidding. Cursor to selected. There we go. Is that in the center? No, it is not. Is it? Can I change the 3D? Oh, I can just go like that and go like that, and now that is for sure right there in the center. And I'm going to make a plane axis. There we go. Okay. So I hope that I'm not going to just totally bust the rig. What's up? Discovered here today. Oh, thanks, Carlos. I appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Kind words, man. Yeah. Let's see. I'm so nervous to do this. All right, let's just see what happens. Keep transform. All right. Yay, it worked. Great. So funny story. The way that I figured out these rails inside for this was that I just animated the door moving the way I wanted to, and then traced the motion paths, and made these like, and I really, really wish it could animate right now, because then I could show you how this works, but it's not working. So that's okay. But I'm going to do it for this door, or for this door, for this door. All right. Let's try it out. So I'm going to nudge this over, and new. I don't want new anything. I don't want action editor. I want, oh, interesting. Okay. I don't really know the difference between like the dope sheet and the action editor. And this is a huge fault of mine that I need to correct in my, just completely, yeah, I gotta fix that I don't know that. All right. So, boom. And now I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's just make it like 20 frames. That's enough vertices, really. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna rotate it here. Oh no. Oh right, everything's local because it's a proper rig. Because Mark's awesome. He's the best in the business, that's why. Okay, so that's where that should go. Let's see if I can get it any higher based on just the available space. Yeah, I should be. Let's say I sneak that up to right there. Yeah, I'm not super comfortable with that. Let's put it right there. Let's see, when does it start poking through? Okay, I mean, that's a pretty good place for that big door. So I'm going to just say that's about as far as I want to go. Yeah. Because then I could replicate. Then I could replicate this whatever I model here with this door across. And this will also give me, this will constrain like where I can put all the satchels and cool stuff. Satchels, what am I saying? All right. Oh, wow. Okay. So it just moved linearly. Ruh-roh. Should be a nice 0, thank you. All right. Does it rotate? Yes. Okay. So that's, I'm going to give it 30 frames. And let's see if I can get it to kind of, so the first step is going to be just a nice linear move back to clear, right? Clears, so first it clears, and then it starts to, right, goes clear, and then goes up. And I want to make sure that the motion path that it follows is, you know, really, really clears a path. So it's not, you know, needlessly bumping into anything. So let's see. So we don't, okay, that's 2. Oops. There we go. Let's do that. Let's turn that. There we go. That's going to be my bellwether, really. So is it poking through? Yeah, I love nerding out about this stuff. This is what I am really, really obsessed with. Okay, so there we go. So that's, it's going to come down a bit. So let's see. So it should go like that. That's going to be the motion path for the door, I feel like. Yeah. for now. I think. Okay. So that's the motion path for the door. I'm going to trace that out a little bit more. Okay. I'm just thinking about it. I'm not 100% sure I'm wild about it, but that's okay. All right, so then what did I do? How did I do this last time? I think what I did. Yeah, it's getting there. I'm going to clean it up more. I'm going to be pretty obsessive with this since it's got to turn into Geo, you know? But what I'm going to do, let's see, shift. Let's make another plane axis. Take it here. And actually, I'm going to move it. So we're going to have a movement pin. That's right there. Yeah. And then we're going to have another movement pin down here. Let's see, did I do this right? It's going to be another pin down there. So I'm just making these to trace the motion. So what I'm going to do... There we go. Let's just do that. Okay. Yeah, I'll stick it to this vertex here. And then I'll take this guy and let's... Why is there any rotation on it? It should all be nice as 0. Weird. Okay. I'll take this Mr. guy over here. And... pop it over to there. Yeah, I'll kill the rotation on that. Okay. Cool. Neat. Yes. Yes. All right, so now I'm going to parent, keep transform, take you, parent, keep transform. So now let me see, do they move? Yes, they do. All right, so I'm going to take this guy and I want to... What was it? Where's the object animation? Oh, where's the calculate motion path? Link transfer data. I forgot what that. The butter smooth voice. Hey, there's Charlie. Thank you, Charlie, for appreciating the butter in my voice. My radio voice. Are there any other organizations that show up in the setting? Yeah. So the story I'm working on right now is kind of like, I don't know if it's an OVA or a feature or what, but it's taking place right at the end of a Martian civil war. Hi, Joan. Joan is my rock star, awesome wife, and she is the best. She's just the coolest cat in the whole universe, and I love her to bits. All right, let's see. Trace motion paths blender. I have to look this up. But yeah, there's a Martian civil war, and it ends. And the Unity government wins. It's like the first Martian civil war ever, and it's a mess, and it's not anything grand. It's just a shitty civil unrest and trying to hold Mars together, and Mars has. The story takes place at L5, at just a tiny little, not tiny by our standards, but tiny by the world of OSR standards, refueling rest stop. And yeah, it's yeah, they're great. Yeah, I've if you guys read my short stories at all, you can get a sense of kind of what how I imagine Mars at this time. All right, I was looking this up. Where was it? To trace motion paths, you need to select the object and then calculate the motion path. Okay, but where is that setting? That's all I want to know. 3D view, properties, object, properties editor, object motion. Okay, object. Is there a motion? Do you guys see a motion? Oh my gosh, why is this hard to find? Okay, add, no. Edit. Because it, okay, I have to, I see. That's fun. Okay, object. Animation. Bake object transform to grease pencil? What? Okay, so because this technically doesn't have any animation, I can't trace its motion path. That's not right. That's not right. Track. Damn track. No. I swear I've gotten a motion path out of linked objects before. This is cuckoo. Alright. Stanley's gonna find this out. I'm gonna use the super neato here we go. Okay. Properties editor object mode. Properties editor object motion paths. 3D view properties editor. Okay, so object properties. Animation, no. Motion paths. There we go. Okay. Calculate. Yeah, go ahead. Calculate. Yes! Sick. Alright. And then this one. I knew I didn't have to. I knew it. Alright. Calculate. Yeah, Blender moments for sure. Okay. So this is what I do, right? Like I'm looking at this. I see the motion of these two where I want my pins to be. I don't want them to cross over, right? Because that's bad. That means that the two rails have to cross. So I have to, like, you know, adjust this animation in such a way as to prevent that from happening. So now this is where I all kinds of great magic, and it was the last time it was like this weird pinch thing that I did that made it work. So yeah, see how that's like. Okay, so we're gonna take this, we're gonna take you, we're gonna go, yeah, so as I see it, it goes like that. Okay, so that means I have to kind of, I can't go so high. So go, no, down here, let's see, update all paths. Okay, yeah, see, that's good. That's getting there. Okay. It's the slight turn that's hurting me, so I think I have to, let's see what happens if I rotate it. Update all paths. Okay, we're getting somewhere. That's getting better. All right. So it can do that. It can do that. Oh my gosh, it's so close to where we want it. Is that busting through? Oh, it's almost busting, but we're not doing that. All right. And contrary to the song, in this instance, busting does not make me feel good. Nope, nope, nope. We don't want that. All right. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about? We can talk about AI. We can talk about animation. We can talk more about OSR. We can talk about biology. I don't know, whatever you want. While I tweak this thing. Charlie, how you been? What are we working on today? Remember old space animation? Yeah, heck yeah, dude. So Charlie and I made a cool animation for the National Space Society back in the day, like way back. Charlie and I used to work at High Voltage Software together. He's an awesome 3D artist who knows what's up. I'm working on this spacecraft interior, my space ambulance, which you may or may not have seen. I'm working on the interior. I'm trying to figure out, trying to build some stuff that I should have built a while ago and never got a chance to. So I'm doing it now. Let's see what happens if I update all the paths. But I'm so glad you're here, man. It's awesome to see you. Update all paths. Yeah, High Voltage Studio, the game studio. Yep, that's right. That was my first like concept art job. Okay, I think that's the limit of where I'm gonna be able to squeeze that, unless I go up. How far until it pokes through again? Okay, so. Oh, okay, I can't do that. Right, of course not. That's the problem. So it's got to do that. Okay, so here's where we're going to get a little bit fancy. I'm going to go like that. Oh, it crosses over. Okay, what happens if I do that? What? Really? Okay. So if I want it to not, am I turning it the wrong way? I'm confusing myself now. Weird. Okay. Oh, hey, thanks, Lucas. Thanks for coming by. Really appreciate it. Oh, thank you, man. That's awesome. All right. You have a good night, man. Thank you. And you know what? I'm looking at the time here. It's 9:23. I'm probably not going to be on for much longer. Probably cut out in about 10 minutes, just because it's close to my bedtime. But I hope you guys are having fun, hanging out with me here while we make spaceship shapes, and while I try to not confuse myself with. Oh, okay. So if I go like deep like that, I'm just going to go extreme for a second. Okay. So that answers some of my question. And where are those? Okay. Oh my goodness, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I would love to play with that. See what happens. Okay. So far we're moving in the right direction, I feel like. I'm just trying to let's see what happens here. So why does it feel like okay, that one follows. I'm just gonna follow one. So that one goes up. Look at that. Isn't that weird? Right? Like that doesn't look right. Oh, is it only updating the one? Okay. Update path. Update all paths. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to just select them so that I can see them now. So this seems silly, but yeah, I'm really trying to like... Does it make sense what I'm trying to do here? Where I'm like... trying to... Oh, not with that. I'm trying to create a situation where these pins don't intersect, where because there's going to be basically flat rails that these pins go through, right? And so when they move, I want their motion paths to never cross, so that I can get, you know, a similar situation to this here, right? Like this door, it took me a while to figure out this super specific path where the pins don't cross, right? Because it's just a see, it's just these pins, right? And the door moves in this very specific way, and so that's I'm going to model something like this, but for the bigger door. And so that's what I'm trying to get, is this like very constrained movement, right, where these pins don't cross. And so I think, if I'm not mistaken, the way to achieve that is going to be, I'm going to try this. I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to update all paths. Okay, so more angle be make good. More angle be make good. That's what we want. Okay. But that also means, do I have any wiggle room here? Like, what if I just came up a bit? Can I come up a bit? Nope. I'm very constrained there. That's the issue. Got it. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna nudge this. I'm gonna see if I can like kind of tuck it and like that. Let's see what happens to this motion path if I select it. Update all paths. Okay, we're getting really close. So I'm gonna bring this back down a bit. Select this guy again. See, update all paths. Yes, okay. Now, let's see if I can like straighten some of this so that there's no rotation. Like if it kind of goes. So what's the rotation on it right now? Goes from this to this. I see. Okay, so that's the value that's changing. So what happens if I go, say, take that number and punch it into here? If it just kind of goes like that, let's see. I might have made it worse. I'm not sure. Okay. No, I made it a little better. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Once my head is just sort of in this problem-solving mode, I feel like it's may not be the most fun thing to watch, but at least you guys get to see me just suss this out. This very simple problem. So strange. So I think if I just give it a little bit like that, just like a smidge of curve. Give me that. Thank you. Update all paths. Yeah, see how that's like just a little cleaner. And so then this part here, I wonder if I could like steal that, go to here, boom. It kind of does that, and a little turn at the end and straightens that out. This is such a strange way to work on like a geometry problem, but it's fun. Update all paths. Update all paths. Oh, I did. Okay. Yeah, so it kind of goes. That's better. I kind of feel awkward asking a lure question. No, please. Oh, hey Danelle. Good night. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I should probably wrap up here. No, I appreciate the lore questions, Daniel. I really do. Have a good night, Danelle. Thanks for coming by. Thanks to everybody for coming by. Truly, I love talking about this stuff, and I don't mind, like, there's hours to work on this. Like, I like to just, it gives me clarity too, to think about this stuff. So super fun from that standpoint. So let's send a little turn up. So you can see we've got this nice little curved path. This is roughly what I'm going to be trying to do. I'm going to try to straighten this out frame by frame. See if I can, get it like nice and clean. Might put like a line here and then just kind of go frame by frame and nudge this to get it to behave itself. But we'll see if I really can, because it's going to be very fussy. But yeah, anyway, I think I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you everybody for coming by. Next time I do this, I promise I'll just do some more drawing. I don't know how exciting Blender is to look at, but this is what I was working on today. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Thank you everyone for coming by. And I'm going to go ahead and hit stop streaming. And if y'all got any questions or want to know anything, just shoot me an email. Yeah, this was fun. It's great. I'm definitely going to do this again. Yeah, you got it. Oh, yeah. Sure thing, Daniel. Sure thing, Ashley. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for coming by, Charlie. I'm sorry it was short. We didn't get to catch up. We'll have to catch up by phone. All right, guys. See ya.